Ladies, let's talk about our feet. As we move rapidly toward Memorial Day weekend, we are officially involved in the warm months of the year, which means that our feet situation needs to be on par because we are wearing things like flip-flops, gladiators, open toe shoes, peep toe pumps, shoes that have the backs of our feet out. More of our foot is exposed at this time of the year than any other time of the year, simply because it's a lot warmer. And no one wants to wear boots where you could possibly have warm feet, and that's uncomfortable. No one likes their feet to be warm. So the wearing of the sandals, highly encouraged. Wearing of the sandals without having proper foot care, highly discouraged. So what I wanted to do was give you a couple of tips on some things that I do to keep my feet up. I do it year round, but during the summer months I kind of have to ramp things up because my feet are more on display. And I don't always either have time or budget to make it to the spa to get a full mani-pedi, because a lot of times they tell you should go every other week or every week. I'm not really a big fan of that, especially in these times where spending frivolously can be discouraged due to all sorts of recessionary issues that we don't even want to discuss because we know that they exist. So these are some of the things that I do to extend my pedicure situation. I may get a pedicure twice a month, maybe once a month, depending on what's going on in my life at the time. So I use these tools as a way to keep my feet looking good in between pedicure times. The first thing that I use that I'm a big fan of is this. It's the Ped-Egg. Now this is something that came out several years ago, and it was really big on the infomercial circuit. And oddly enough, I sometimes find myself up at 12, 1 o'clock in the morning watching television, and I'll stumble across an infomercial. And if it looks intriguing, I will actually watch it like it's television. It's crazy. I don't always buy, so I don't necessarily have a problem with that, but I will look at it and want to learn more about the product. This was one of those products. I was kind of suspicious of it. I didn't think that it would really work, and I thought that the women's feet looked like they had been at a spa. But I went out a couple of years ago when they started carrying them in Walgreens, and I purchased one for $10 and gave it a whirl, and I've loved it ever since. It's a really great product. It's really easy to use. It fits in your hand, and basically you just use it. I'll show you kind of the secret to it. It's shaped like an egg, which is definitely helpful. And they have these little grooves here, and you rub these up along your feet. They don't hurt, they don't injure you. What they do is scrape off all of the dead skin cells and the different thing that builds up on your feet that make your feet look, not so attractive. So I'm a big fan of the Ped-Egg. It's about $10. It's well worth the investment. I bought mine a couple of years ago. They have little replacement groove things that you can use, that you can buy in the store. So the Upkeep is not very expensive. It lasts a really long time, and it's wonderful. Dr. Scholl's has one as well, as so do some other brands. I would suggest the Ped-Egg or the Dr. Scholl's just because they're feet companies, and I'm a big fan of Dr. Scholl's products because they work wonderfully as well. Now, I would caution against you getting the one that has the stick. They have one that has kind of like an elongated stick on there where you can hold it. For me, I find that might be a little cumbersome, and the stick could cause problems with getting that traction you need when you really want to get in there and get those feet nice and pretty. It takes work. It's not glamorous or cute, but in the end, your feet will definitely thank you for it, and so will the people that have to see your feet. The next thing that I want to tell you about is this. It's a pumice stone. You can get these from the dollar store, any drugstore, Target, Walmart, Kmart, Dwayne Reed, wherever. They typically will have these in the same section as you will find other foot care items. They're not very expensive. The one that I have, this is a Dr. Scholl's. It probably cost me about $5 or $6, and it's really wonderful for when you're in the shower and you want to, take care of your feet while you're showering. It doesn't take a long time. You just rub some soap on your feet, and then you take this and you scrub the backs, the sides, however, whatever you want to smooth out. This is great. And it's also a good primer because you can do this while your feet are wet. And then you can pick up the pet egg when you get out once your feet have dried and use this on dry feet, because this is great on wet feet. This is good on dry feet. Pumice stone, really wonderful thing. If you don't have anything at all, a pumice stone is a great place to start because it's rough and it can definitely get your feet nice and smooth. You want to get one that's solid. Some of the lesser expensive ones can kind of flake. That's not really helpful. You need something that's going to get in there and get those feet pumiced. The last thing I want to show you is this. Simple, all-American, well, I don't know if it's all-American, but simple, basic petroleum jelly. I have used this on my feet for years. It's a great way to moisturize your feet, and because it's very thick and it's a thick oil base, it'll soak into your feet and it'll make it last a lot longer than, say, lotions or anything like that that you may use. So get it at the dollar store. Big lots, you don't have to spend a lot of money. You can get a bigger one. I get this one because it lasts forever, so you don't use a whole lot. It's great. One thing I will say is that when you put the petroleum jelly on your feet, before you slide your feet into your sandals or shoes or whatever, I would advise you to walk around a little bit. It works best if you have a carpet in your house. If you have hardwood floors, you may just have to wipe your feet off with a paper towel, just so that when you put your feet in your shoes, they're not sliding. So, you know, that can cause all sorts of travel hazards when you begin to walk. But if you just wipe the heels, just a couple of wipes, you don't have to completely wipe it dry to lose the moisture. It's a great tip so that your feet can still look good, but you won't be slipping around in your shoes. So I definitely recommend petroleum jelly. Keep our feet looking good. The pumice stone, go ahead and get that dried skin off. And the pet egg, which is a wonderful, wonderful thing to help keep your feet nice and buffed year round. So ladies, now that we've talked about our feet, let's act on keeping our feet looking nice. It doesn't take a lot of time. Once you start doing it more and more often, it'll be like second nature. It's like you'll look down and like, oh, feet need to be done. You know, 5-10 minutes max. It's a great way to pamper yourself at home, and your feet look good year round, especially in these summer months. So I hope that this has helped. If you have questions, feel free to send me a comment, shoot me a message on the contact form. You know, if you have other topics that you think should be discussed in the Ladies Let's Talk series, please feel free to let me know and I'll give you a shout out when your topic has been touched on. And I hope that this helped, and I hope that you're able to, you know, improve your beauty routine in a way that's cost effective and easy. Also, I wanted to take a quick moment to give a shout out to the Jet Set Girls. They have this really cool travel site that I suggest you visit. The link is below. It's really cool. They do a lot of fabulous fashion things, and most recently they had a contest where they were giving away these wonderful diamond earrings, and all you had to do was retweet their tweet. It did it on Twitter. So I did that, and yay, I won. So I wanted to give them a quick shout out. Here is the earrings. I'm wearing them now. You can see they're really pretty, nice, super cute. I'm really excited. You know, what girl doesn't love some diamonds? So I just wanted to give them a shout out. Have a link to their site so you can check them out. Definitely follow all three of the ladies on Twitter. You know, sign up for their blog. It's all very fabulous. So now that we've talked, I look forward to the next time we can talk again. And I hope that this was at least a little bit helpful for you today.